Shri Ganeshaya Namaha, Shri Saraswate Namaha, Shri Satgurubhyo Namaha. Samasta Janakalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Satgurum Brahmavidvaram Manojavam Marudhatulya Vegam Jitendriyam Buddhimatam Varishtam Vadatmajam Vanarayuta Mukhyam Shri Ramadutam Sirasa Namami Santoshini Jaganmata Mama Saubhagyavriddhaye Namaskaromi Bhaktya Tvam Prasanna Varada Bhava Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutrabhashya Krutau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punaha Om Namah Pranavarthaya Shuddha Jnanaigamurtaye Nirmalaya Prashandaya Dakshinamuktaye Namaha Satchitananda Rupaya Vishwotpattyadihetave Tapatraya Vinashaya Sri Krishnaya Vayam Namaha Nilam Bhujasyamalako Sita Samaropita Vamabhagam Pano Mahasayaka Charu Chapam Namami Ramam Rakhuvam Shanatham Krishno Rakshatu Mam Chara Chara Guru Krishnam Namasye Sada Krishne Naiva Surakshito Hamasagrat Krishnaya Dattam Manaha Krishna Deva Samudbhavo Mama Vibho Krishnasya Dasosmyaham Krishne Bhakti Rajanjalastu Bhagavan He Krishna Tubhyam Namaha. So we are seeing the summary of Srimad Bhagavatam, second canto. Second canto, the topic is sadhana. The first canto, the topic is adhikari. The second canto topic is sadhana. In that sadhana, Shuka Maharshi initiates Parikshit Maharaj, who was the student here for adhikari, to Nirguna Brahma Upasana, then Aneka Rupa, Virat Rupa Upasana, then Eka Rupa Upasana. This is how he instructs our Parikshit Maharaj. The same idea we saw in the fourth dasakam. Bhattadari has given the Nirguna Upasana in the form of Ashtanga Yoga. Now, having seen that, the fifth dasakam, he is going to describe the Virat Rupam of Bhagavan, how it is derived, how it is evolved, all the description he is going to give. Now let us read. First verse.
Vyakta vyaktamidam na kinchid bhavate प्राक् प्राकृत प्रक्षये मायायां गुणसाम्य रुद्ध विकृतौ त्वय्यागतायां लयम् नो मृत्युश्च तदामृतं च समभून् नाह्नो न रात्रे स्थितिः तत्रैकस्त्वमशिष्यथा किल परा नंद प्रकाशात्मना
Prakrita prakshaye prak. During the great dissolution that took place last, Prakrita pralaya. There are Nitya pralaya, Naimittika pralaya, Prakrita pralaya, like this different kind of pralayas are there. Prakrita pralaya is when Brahmaji complete his 100 years of age. The entire creation created by him dissolves. Prithvi apsu praliyate, apaha tejasi praliyante, tejo vayo viliyante, vayurakashe viliyate, akasham indriyeshu, indriyani tanmatreshu, tanmatrani bhutatau viliyante, bhutadihi mahati viliyate, मान अव्यक्ते विलीयते अव्यक्तम अक्षरे विलीयते. This is the Upanishad Vakyas. So here each element dissolves into earth, will dissolve into water, water will dissolve into fire, fire dissolves into air, air dissolves into akasha. Like this, it goes on. So that is what the Prakrita Pralaya. It's called Mahapralaya. So this Maya, when this Pralaya took place, what happened was Mayayam Gunasamya Ruddha Vigradau, and Maya, whose activity was prevented by the equipoise of the three gunas. Now this you understand only Sankhya Yoga. When you read the Sankhya Yoga, there is a principle that when the Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, Maya is Trigunatmika Maya. Maya means Trigunatmika, Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. A combination of these three gunas, we call it as Maya. In all of us, somebody is Sattvaguda Pradhani, predominantly Sattva, somebody is predominantly Rajas, somebody is predominantly Tamas. This is how we are. All our human beings are all a combination of this in different proportion. But when all the three become in an equilibrium, samam, then what happened? There is no activity. So there is no creation. That is what Patanjali says here. Mayayam gunasamya ruddha vikritau. So when Maya, whose activity was prevented by the equipoise of three gunas, means they were equal, agadayam layam toi, because then what happened? This Maya get dissolved in Bhagavan. Maya get dissolved in Bhagavan. Idam vyakta vyaktam. This universe made up of gross and subtle, na abhavat kinjit, did not exist at all. So when during that Mahapralaya, Maya merges with Bhagavan, and Vyakta Vyaktam, gross or subtle objects or elements did not exist. They all merge into Maya, Maya merge into Bhagavan. Tada mrityujaha amritam. At that time, death or liberation immortality, no samabhut, did not take place. Nastiti annaha naratre ahnaha. So there was no state of day. Aharaha. There is no day or night. Tatra ekaha tvam ashishyathaha. There only one, that is you, remained. That is pictoriously given in Bhagavatam, that in the Pralaya water, there was a, what you call that, people tree, leaf was floating on that tree. Leaf, Bhagavan Krishna is lying down. Kararavinde namukaravindam, mukaravinde napaдаravindam. So he was lifting his toe and putting in his mouth. So this is pictorially given to say that Bhagavan alone was there. And if you look at the Vedic Vakya also, so Sadeva Saumya Idamagra Asit in Chandogya Upanishad also, Sat alone, Bhagavan alone was there. Tatra Egaha Tvam Ashishyadaha. There only one, that is you, remained. Kila Parananda Prakashatmana. And a supreme bliss consciousness. Kila Shabda is used to say it is set in the Vedas. So Bhattadri is referring to the Vedas. So thus, Maya had totally dissolved into you. O Lord, during the last Mahapralaya, she was as good as non-existent. Therefore, there were no gross or subtle in substances. There were no birth, death, or the cycle thereof, constituting samsara. There was no liberation either, as there was no sun, moon, or stars, neither day or night existed. But then what did exist even during that period? O Lord, you alone existed. Even your altered state in the form of the Trinity, Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara, created by Maya, did not exist. You alone pervaded everywhere as supreme bliss consciousness. In this matter, the Vedas, which are your own pronouncement, are the only authority. Now, what is told in the first sloka is further elaborated in the next one, second one.
Kalah karma gunascha jiva nivahaha vishvancha karyam vibho chillīlārati me yushittvaitada nirlīnatam ayayuhu tesham naiva vadantya sattvamai bhoh shaktyaatmana tishthatam no chet kim gagana prasuna sadrusham bhuyo bhavet sambhavaha.
Vibho, O Lord, the cause of creation, sustenance, and dissolution, Srishti Sthiti Samhara, Karta, Vibho, Tada Tvayi Eyushi Sati. At that time, when you are engrossed, Chillila Ratim, in the sport of meditative sleep, that is cosmic slumber, Yoga Nidra. Bhagavan Vishnu, you must have seen the picture, he is always lying down and sleeping. This is what we think. He is not sleeping. He is in Yoga Nidra. He is very alert. Whatever that is going on in the world, he knows. Gunaha, kalaha, karmacha, the three gunas, time, the effect of all actions, jiva nivaha, of the multitude of living beings, Vishwam cha karyam, and the universe, which is an effect of Maya, karyam. Karyam means effect. Ayayuhu nirlinatam, they were merged in you. Ayi bho tesham tishtatam, O Lord, for those entities which did exist, Shaktyatmana, in the form of Maya, your creative power, Navadanti eva asatvam. Even Vedas do not talk about their absolute non-existence. No chet tesham gagana prasuna sadrisham. If it is not so, for those which had become non-existent, having faced that destruction, like sky flowers, Kim bhavet bhuyaha sambhavaha. How could there be a re-emergence at the end of Pralaya? Now, so this is a creation theory in all our scriptures, especially Upanishads. In Hinduism, the word creation is not used. Creation is a misnomer. What we use in Vedanta is manifestation. So what was unmanifest become manifest. That we call it as creation, because nobody can. Bhattadri gives here argument that how can something that is non-existent come into existence? So that is not possible. But even science also proved that matter cannot be created or destroyed. Matter and energy. Matter and energy cannot be destroyed. So it is indestructible. The same way, here also all the matter, that is creation, names and forms, but whether it is gross or subtle, they get dissolved into Maya, and Maya get dissolves into Bhagavan, Brahman. So, but that doesn't mean everything is disappeared. It has dissolved into Maya, mean it become subtle form. It has become subtle form, dormant form. Like you are an engineer, you go to sleep, all engineering knowledge become dormant in you when you sleep. And that is why you get up as engineer, you don't get up as doctor. Because whatever that was there in you, inherent, that alone will manifest. So that is what he said here. So, so in this sloka, it is pointed out that the being did not face total destruction during the time of Pralaya, but they did exist in the subtle or seed form and came into manifestation only when the new cycle of creation started. In other words, the activity of creation after a Pralaya is a manifestation of what is latent and not the production of something which was absolutely non-existent earlier prior to Pralaya. So this is a point he is making here. So creation is a cycle. It has no beginning or end. So if you start thinking the linear way, linear means straight line, starting and end, then you will not be able to appreciate the cycle of creation. Continuing.
एवं च द्विपरार्धकालविगताः वीक्षांसि सृक्षात्मिकाम् बिभ्राणे त्वयि चुक्षुभे त्रिभुवनी भावाय माया स्वयं मायातः खलु कालशक्तिरखिला दृष्टं स्वभावोऽपि च प्रादुर्भूय गुणान् विकास्य विदधुः तस्या सहायक्रियाम्।
एवं च द्विपरार्थकाल विगतौ. That's when the period of two pararthas entered. Two parartha means 50-50. That means 100 years. One parartha is, so that is why if you listen to the Pandits when they are doing Sankalpa, they will say Dutiya Pararthe, Shedavarahalpe, O Vaivasudamannantare, Ashtavikumsati Same, Kaliyuge, Pratame Pade, Jambudvipe, America Kande, New Jersey Deshayam. Like this, they do Sankalpa. That is meant Dutiya Parartha. Now we are running Dutiya Parartha, second half of Brahmaji's lifetime. So when Bhattadari is telling here that when the two pararthas over means 100 years over. So vibrane sadi iksham, when you did cast your glance. Sisrichatmikam, which was the expression of the desire of creation. Maya chakshube swayam, Maya got activated. Now here we have to understand, these are all elaborately given in Bhagavatam. Bhattadari is summarizing it. It's a great task to summarize such elaborate discussion in 10 verses. It's very beautifully done. So in Bhagavatam, it is given that, see, 100 years of Brahmaji gives you that pralaya. But in that pralaya kalam, how long it was, because time was not existing. But the time was also dissolved. And we don't know how long it lasted. Is it a 100 years of Brahmaji's time or less than that? We have no idea because there is no time to calculate. That's the idea here. So after that, what happened? This is what he's telling. Maya chakshube swayam. Bhagavan looked at Maya. So you did cast your glance, Iksham. Iksham. So Bhagavan looked at Maya. So he is dramatizing it here. So even in Taittiriya Upanishad also there is a Tatrashtva Deva Nupravishad Tadanupravishya Satyattacha Bhavati. So there is a statement in Taittiriya that having created, he entered, like that. So here it is said, it is Iksham. Bhagavan looked at it, looked at Maya. That is our, like our Gurudev used to give very humorously. When a guest comes to your house, you look at your wife, she understands what exactly to be done. So the same way, Bhagavan looked at his consort Maya and she understood what is to be done. She got activated. With Tribhuvani Bhavaya, for manifestation of the three worlds. Pradurbhuya Mayataha Khalu, having emerged from Maya itself. Kalashaktihi, the power called time. So the first creation of Maya is time. Then Akhila Drishtam. Then what happened? The Adrishtam, Akhilam, the latent effect of action of all living beings, means the vasanas inherent in all living beings. Swabhavaha apicha, they call vasanas, tendencies. The result of actions and the vasanas they collected. Vikasya gunan. So activating the three gunas which were in equilibrium, that is how pralaya happened. And now the three gunas got activated, was become imbalanced, and that helped her for creation. It provided her with help. Vidaduhu tasyaha sahaya kriyam. So when Bhagavan was awakened by the power called time, Bhagavan looked at it, looked at Maya, and Maya, with the help of three gunas and the spirit of time, she was able to bring out what was inherent in her as previously merged in her. Previous creation, whatever that was gross and subtle, name and form got dissolved, and it remained in her as dormant. And she brought out that. That's why creation is very systematic, purposeful. It is not random. It is not like spontaneum. It is very systematic, because otherwise the problem of creation is very difficult to prove. So a lot of question will be there. Why God created the world? What for He created the world? On what basis He created the world? And why am I like this? Why am I not like my neighbor or friend? So all these questions will come. These are all answered here by saying, according to karma phala and vasanas, each individual's body is prepared and given. Lifestyle is also given. So these are all dormant in Maya. So creation is a manifestation of the whatever that was inherent in him. Continuing.
Maya sannihito pravishta sakshiti gito bhavan भेदैस्तां प्रतिबिम्बतो विविशिवान् जीवोऽपि नैवा परः कालादिप्रतिबोधिताथ भवता संचोदिता च स्वयं माया सा खलु बुद्धितत्त्वमसृजत् योऽसौ महानुच्यते.
Maya sannihitaha, having Maya only as an adjunct. Apravishta vapusha, without having entered the same and without being affected by it. That means sannidhi matrena. In Vedas, Upanishad, it is said sannidhi matrena, in his very presence. That's why Bhavan Gitaha Sakshi Iti. You are proclaimed to be a mere witness, Sakshi. A Sakshi is not involved in the activities of what is happening. It's only a Sakshi. Vivishivan, the one who has entered, Tam Vedaihi Upalakshitam, her Maya of diverse manifestation. So in his presence, Maya get enlivened. Maya is inert, insentient, but that Maya get enlivened with the presence of Brahman, Paramatma, the Lord, Vishnu, or here it is Guru Ayappan. Tam Bhetehi Upalakshitam. Her Maya entered her Maya of diverse manifestation. Pradibimbadaha jivaha api. Along with what? Jiva, who is a reflection of consciousness, Pratibimba. So all of us are a reflection of consciousness. Jivas are considered Brahman. That is why Tattvamasi Mahavakya is used to indicate Jiva and Ishvara. Both are one and the same. Why? Because what you see in the reflection in the mirror, your own reflection in the mirror, and you, there is no difference. That is what is declared here. The reflection, Pratibimbadaha Jivaha Api Bhavan Eva Na Aparaha. So is also you and not anyone different from you. So whatever that is reflected as Jiva, Bhattadri here says that it is you only, oh Bhagavan, you are the one reflected as the Jivatma. Atasa Maya Khalu. Then that Maya alone, Kaladi Pradibhotita, being awakened by time, action and the like, Cha Sanjotita Bhavata, and prompted by you, Swayam Asrijat Buddhi Tattvam. She herself created the principle of intelligence. Yaha Asau Uchyate Mahan. That which is known as Mahat Tattva. So when she was enlivened by Bhagavan, by a look, she became active. Then first thing that she created was time. Then after time, the, what do you call, yes, the Kala Tattva, time means Kala Tattvam. Then the first thing that is creation is Mahat Tattva. Mahat Tattva means total, what do you call, intelligence, total ego, Mahat Tattva. Mahat Tattva, cosmic intelligence. We can say Mahat Tattva means cosmic intelligence. Continuing. Next.
तत्रासौ त्रिगुणात्मकोऽपि च महान् सत्त्वप्रधानः स्वयं जीवेऽस्मिन् खलु निर्विकल्पमहमिति उद्बोधनिष्पादकः चक्रेऽस्मिन् सविकल्पबोधकमहत् तत्त्वं महान् खल्वसौ सम्पुष्टं त्रिगुणैस्तमोति बहुलम् Vishnu Bhavat Preranat.
Tatra Asau Mahan. Among the effect of Maya, the same Mahat Tattvam, Mahat Tattvam means principle of cosmic intelligence, Api Swayam Trigunatmagaha, although in itself constitute of all the three gunas, because Maya is a cause, so Maya Karyam, anything that is the effect of Maya, will also have three gunas. So here cosmic intelligence also is endowed with three gunas. Then San Sattva Pradhanaha. Now here the point he is making here is same Mahat identify with Sattva is total I. And when identified with Tamas, become individual I, Jivatma. This is a point he is making here. So Sanna Sattva Pradhanaha, but being predominated by Sattva Guna, Uddho Danishpadaha Khalu Aham iti Nirvikalpam. Indeed, of the cosmic ego without differentiation of individual entity. That is called Hiranyagarbha, total intelligence. And that is called total ego. Asmin Jive, in this Jivatman, He Vishnu Aso Mahan, all-pervading Lord, this Mahattattvam indeed, Abhi Trigunaihi Sampushtam, although nourished by all the three gunas, Bhavat Preranat Kalu Chakre Asmin Aham Tattvam. By your prompting alone created in the same Jivatman the sense of I-ness, ego. Savikalpa bodhakam, with our awareness of separate individuality. Tamodi bahulam, being predominated by tamoguna. So the same total intelligent mahattattvam, because it is predominantly sattva, it is the total I. There is Edithachan has written a beautiful composition, Harinama Kirtanam. There is one there. He says, "Oh Lord, let me not have this ahankara. Even if I have ahankara, let me have, I am the total, that ahankara." I don't remember the sloka, I remember the meaning. So that is what here he says, though when that total intelligent, cosmic intelligence identify with total is because of being sattva, it is, that is not called ahankara. Aham is there, but kara is not there. But when it identify with individual jiva, then it is called ahankara. The kara is added there. Kara means, in Tamil, karam, spices. So that karam is the problem. The karam is to be removed. That aham is okay. I am total, identifying with total is fine. Then continuing, what happened?
सोऽहञ्च त्रिगुणक्रमा त्रिविधिताम् आसाद्य वैकारिको भूयस्तैजसतामसा विति भवन् आद्येन सत्त्वात्मना देवानिन्द्रियमानिनो कृतदिशा वातार्कपाश्यश्विनो वह्नीन्द्राच्युतमित्रकान् विधुविधिः श्रीरुद्रशारीरकान्.
This saha aham cha bhavan bhuyaha. This ahankara too, after being born, then asadya trividhadam iti, getting divided into three parts, namely vaikarigaha, taijasaha, tamasau, trigunakramat. So Vishwa Taijasa Pratnya, he is giving a different name here. Vaikarika from Sattvam, Taijasa from Rajas, and Tamas, Tamasa from Tamas, in the order of three gunas. Adyena Sattvatmana, and using the first part composed of Sattaguna, Akrita Devan, he created gods. Namely, Dishavatarkapashvasvinaha, Dik, Vayu, Aditya, Varuna, Ashwini Devas, Vannindrachuta Mitrakan, Agni, Indra, Vishnu, Mitra, and Prajapati. Vithu Vidi Sri Rudra Sharirakan, Chandra, Brahma, Sri Rudra and Kshetratnya, Indriyamaninaha, as the presiding deity of different Indriyas, if you study Tattvabodha, you will get all these details. So Aditya is the presiding deity of eyes, pair of eyes. Dik Devata is the presiding deity of ears. And Prithvi Devata is the presiding deity of nose. Varuna Devata for taste. Vayu Devata for skin touch. And Agni, the Devata for speech, mouth. And Indra for the hands. Then feet, Vishnu Bhagavan, to excrete, anus, Mrityu Devata, organs of generation, Prajapati, mind, Chandra, intellect, Brahma, ego, Sri Rudra, then Chittam, Kshatrajna. Like this, you will see the description in Tattvabodha. The same thing is given here. He created all that with presiding deities. Then continuing.
Bhuman manasa buddhyaham krutimilat chittakhya vrittyanvitam tachantah karanam vibho tava balat satvamsha eva srujate jatastaijjasato dashendriya ganaha tattamasamshat punaha tanmatram nabhaso marut purapate Shabdo jani tvad
E Bhuman Vibho, all-pervading Lord, complete with all 6 attributes. Tava Balat, by your power, Sattvam Saha Eva, that part of Sattva-guna, Vaikarika Ahankara Sattva, Tat Antakaranam, created the inner organ, Antakaranam. Our Antakaranam is Manaha, Uddhi, Ahankaram, Chittam. This is made up of the Sattva aspect of the Tanmatras of 5 elements. Now, all these are all very clearly given in Tattvabodha. Now, don't worry. Bhattadari will, this is because Bhattadari cannot help. It is given in Bhagavatam, so he has to cover that. So after this 5, this is the 5th one, 6th and 7th, then all the creation theory will be over. Then he will get into story. Until then, you have to bear with me. Bear with Bhattadari. Then Antakaranam, which is created the inner organ by Sattvic Amsha of all the Tanmatras. Cha Manasa Buddhya Hankriti Milat Chittakhya Vrittyanvitam. With aspect comprising the mind, understanding, ego, and Chitta. So Mano Buddhi Ahankara Chitta. Then from Taijasadaha Jataha, from Taijasa Ahankara was born a group of Deshendriya Ganaha, 10 Indriyas, 5 Pranendriyas, 5 Karmendriyas. He Marut Purabate, O Lord Gurayurappa, O Lord of Gurayur, Punaha, Tat Tamasamsha, then from the part comprising of Tamasahankara, Twat Balat Ajani, on account of your power was born, Shabda Tanmatram Nabasaha. Shabda sound, the subtle essence of element, Akashaha. Continuing.
Shabdad vyomatatas sasarjita vibho sparshantato marutam tasmad rupamato mahothajarasam toyancha gandham mahim evam madhava purva kalanat adhyadhya dharmanvitam भूतग्राममिमं त्वमेव भगवन् प्राकाशयस्तामसात्
He Vibho, Tvam Sasarjidaha. O Lord, you created Vyoma Shabda Sparsham Tataha. Now here, the evolution of the elements and the gunas, the attributes of elements, and how it is connected to each indriyas also given. This is also Tattvabodha. So what he says is the Akashasya Gunaha, the Shabda. So Akasha, space. The attribute of space is what? Shabda. And in order to enjoy Shabda, we are given pair of ears. Bhagavan has given. So from Shabda, he created Akasha. So first Bhagavan, here, Patatri said here, that first he created Shabda, from there Akasha, and then from there ear, the sense of sound. Then Marutam Tata Rupam Tasmat Bhaha Ataha Rasam Cha Atha Toyam Gandham Mahim Cha. So it's the same way, Sparshanam, touch. The touch is created from touch. What happened? Vayu Bhagavan was created. And then we have the skin to experience the touch. Sheetam, Mushnam, Mityadi. Then comes the Agni. Agni's nature is that what you call light. Fire from that light. And light means what? The form and color. So this is a pair of eyes were given for that purpose. Then comes the water. From water, water is that, water guna is what? Rasa, taste. So water doesn't have taste, but without water, you cannot taste anything. Therefore, the taste is water. And to enjoy the taste, we are given tongue. And this tongue also a wonder of wonder, 1.5 inch skin actually, it is a flesh. And that is able to enjoy all the rasas at one time, shad rasas at one time. So this is also a wonder. And yeah, then He Madhava Bhagavan, O slayer of Madhu, one with all 6 attributes. Evam Tvam Eva Prakasheha, thus you alone made to shine. Imam Bhudagramam, the chain of subtle essences born out of these elements. So in your presence alone, because you have enlivened Maya, Maya was capable of creating this because of your presence. And Adhyatya Dharmanvitam, each one possessing the qualities of the earlier product. Now this is another explanation because the Bhumi is the grossest among all the 5 elements. Earth is the grossest. Earth has got all the gunas. Sabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha. All of them. So the same way, when you go to water, one element, one guna is missing. That is, earth guna will not be there. Rest 4 of them will be there. When you go to fire, the 2 of them will go and only 3 will be there. And Vayu, only 2 will be there, but all the 3 is gone. Then in Akasha, only 1 guna is there. That is Shabda. This is what is told here. Udagramam. Each one possessing the qualities of earlier product. Purva Kalana, due to the association with the preceding product. Tamasa, derived from Tamasa Ahankara. So it is all the elements, gross elements that we see in Tattvabodha, Panchikaranam is given, that grossification, how it has become mingled with each other and become grossified. Here Bhattacharya says it is tamas ahankara that has created all these gross elements and the gunas. Okay, continuing.
एते भूतगणास्तथेन्द्रियगणाः देवाश्च जाताः पृथक् नोषे कुर्भुवनाण्डनिर्मितिविधौ देवैरमीभिस्तदा त्वं नानाविधसूक्तिभिर्नुतगुणः तत्त्वान्यमून्या विषं चेष्टाशक्तिमुदीर्यतानि घटयन् हैरण्यमण्डं व्यधाः
एते भूतगणा च इन्द्रियगणाः तथा देवाः जाताः पृथक् नो शेकुः. These elements and the organs of sense and action is also the presiding deities who came to existence. So each indriya has got a presiding deity. A presiding deity is to be interpreted modern way. You don't have to interpret, but if you want to, it is the principle, the tattvam. So the eyes are how it is operating. There is a big science behind it. And that is why the eye specialist, they spend a lot of time exploring the science behind it. That also specialization is there nowadays. Retina specialist is different. Regular ophthalmologist is different, like that. So this specialization is possible because there is a beautiful science behind it. And that scientific principle, we edify it as deities. That is all. If you want to interpret it that way. Pratak no shuhu. And what happened? Now this is given in Bhagavad. All the devatas were created, the senses were created, but they were not able to operate. They didn't have the power. So what happened? They all prayed to Bhagavan. So that is what is given here. They were desperate. Pratak no shekuhu. Bhuvananda nirmiti vibhav. Creating the Brahmanda or the cosmic sphere. Tadatvam nutagunaha. Then whose insolence are sung. Nana vida suktibihi. By means of various devotional hymns. Now it is a dramatized, okay? Otherwise, if you start logically asking question, it will be a problem. Because without Bhagavan behind it, how will they praise it? No, this is praise also possible. Even to speak a word, you need his presence. Without his presence, they will not be able to compose hymns in praise of Bhagavan. So here it is said, all those devatas, they were powerless. They didn't know what to do. So they sung in praise. They composed hymns and sung in praise. These praises are all there in Bhagavad. So that they sung in praise of Bhagavan with hymns composed by them. Amibihi devehe, these presiding deities. Avishan amuni tattvani, on entering these categories, and udira cheshta shakting gadayan, activating and combining them. Vyathaha hiranyam andam, did create the cosmic egg called Brahmandam. Now, even the modern science also say the entire universe, the creation is in the form of an egg. So this was given in our scriptures thousands of years ago. Now it is the discovery of the scientist. So what is that? He activated by as though entering, means what? Enlivening or empowering. empowering all the devatas with respective powers, and it is given in the form of entering, pravesha shruti. So, like that srishtva devan pravishate, Taittiriya Upanishad is given. The same idea is given here. Now, continuing the last verse.
Andan tat khalu purva srishta salile tishtat sahasram samaha nirbhindanna krutaschaturdash jagad rupam viradahvayam sahasraikarpadamurdhanivahaihi nishesha jivatmako nirbhatosi marutpuradhipasamam Trayasva sarvamayat.
Tat andam khalu atishtat. That cosmic sphere indeed remained sahasram samaha purvasishta salilehi. For 1,000 years in the waters already created. Tataha tvam pravishyatat. Then you entering the same. Nirbindan chadurdesha jagat rupam, and dividing it into the form of 14 worlds. This we can compare with our modern Big Bang theory. So our Bhagavatam is already given before Big Bang what happened. So this is the of that cosmic anda, cosmic form of Virat Rupam of Bhagavan, God divided into 14 lokas. So, Akritaha Virada Kvayam, made it your form known as Virat Sarupa. Tata Sahasrai Karapada Murdhani Vahai. Then with thousands of hands, feet, and heads, that is what is given in Purusha Sukta. Sahasra Sirsha Purusha Sahasraksha Sahasravad Sabhumim Vishyato Atyadishtat Dashakulam. So that Paramatma remained like thousands of hands, feet, and heads. Tvam Narbhataha Asi, you did shine effulgently. Nishesha Jivatmakaha, as the samashti or aggregate life form of all being. He Marutpuradhipa Tvam Saha, O Lord of Guruvayur, you of such nature, Trayaswamam Sarvamayad, protect me from all ailments. O Lord of Guruvayur, O Lord of Guruvayur, may you, who shine as the Virat Purusha, protect me from my physical and mental afflictions, especially from the disease of rheumatism. This is how he concludes the 5th dasakam. Then the 6th dasakam will be the description of the 14 lokas. So, Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Talatala, Mahatala, Rasatala, Patala, Bhuvaha, Suvaha, Mahaha, Tapaha, Janaha, Satyam. So all these 14 lokas will be described. So that is given in Bhagavatam. So the same way he gives you that it is a summary. We will see that in our next class. The time is up. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Guru Pyo Namaha. Hari Om Krishna Prastu.